Alright everyone, welcome back to a new video on the channel. Today I thought I'd do a bit of a different video going through my tips for if you're starting out collecting or you're thinking about it, what you should stay away from, what you should kind of look into. And so yeah, let's get straight into the video. My first point is to understand that it isn't a cheap hobby and it is very expensive for people, especially who want to collect German World War II militaria. You have to be prepared to spend quite a bit of money. You know, of course you can collect different types of militaria. A good one is Cold War militaria, which I would definitely recommend and I'm actually looking into myself. It's really interesting and there are lots of different types of militaria within it. You've got Vietnam War, which you could just base your whole entire collection just on Vietnam. Cold War militaria is nowhere near as expensive as German World War II militaria, but it is rising in price, which is also a good investment if you're looking at it in that way. I started out collecting with World War II British militaria, which was much cheaper than German militaria, and so I believe it was probably a good decision. Otherwise I'd be buying, if I started with German items, I'd be buying maybe a few items every month or so, but it wouldn't be it wouldn't be what I wanted at the start of my collection. I want to try and get some things in, I'd say after a few years of having experience, it'd be a good idea to get into German military because you'll have experience of the hobby and know what to do. But to start off, I wouldn't recommend with German militaria. If you want to, you can, but just my kind of recommendation would be to stay away from it from the start. My second tip is to avoid eBay. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be commenting saying, oh, blah, blah, it's a good website, etc. Listen, eBay is an absolutely brilliant website to find great deals on militaria and just buy militaria in general, really. But that's for experienced collectors who know what they're looking at, not people who are just starting out wanting to buy a few pieces. The amount of reproductions that you'll find on eBay that are being sold as originals is just absolutely massive. And when you're just starting out, you won't even be able to know whether it's an original or not, because some of the fakes, even for experienced collectors, they'll make mistakes because they're so close to the originals. And I don't even feel like I'm at the knowledge of starting buying lots of things from eBay because I've only been collecting for around 6 years. So eBay, brilliant website for when you know what you're doing. You've been in the hobby for a few years now. So I'd definitely stay away from when you're starting, but when you've got a good experience, I'd definitely have a look at it. Now my third tip, which was my biggest mistake when I started collecting and something I definitely regret, and I'm still trying to get as much in as I can, is get reference books and research into items before you get them. Just have some overall good research materials. Take your time before you buy something. Don't just buy everything you like the look of. You need to take time, research into it, have a good knowledge of the subject, and then buy it. This will help you in the long run so much. It'll save you money, and it's just good to have in your collection overall. As you can see, there's a few books in front of me. The one on your right here, as you can see there, very good book, my first ever one I got. It's just gives you a very basic understanding of all types of militaria. So I'd recommend picking that up just for a basic knowledge. And then obviously you have here some combat helmet books, which are a bit more in detail to certain subjects. So I definitely recommend picking them up as well if you're interested in helmets. I've got some more over in my collection, but these are just a few that I picked out. Something I definitely recommend is going over to Military Collectibles channel. He has some very good videos talking about reference books, so go ahead and have a look at them. My fourth point is to not worry about getting things wrong. Although it is extremely annoying when you think you bought an original item and it turns out to be a reproduction, almost every single collector has made that same mistake, including me. As you can see in front of me, I've got some things that I know are 100% not original and some things which I have my doubts about. The Russian things I bought when I first started collecting, I had no idea what I was doing. I just bought it because I thought I liked the look of it. I don't know if they're real. I don't know if they're fake. But to be honest, I'm pretty sure they're not genuine. I'll obviously have to do more research into it. You just need to learn from your mistakes, and if you follow these steps by buying these reference books, it will limit these mistakes from happening. But even the most experienced collectors today will still make mistakes, so you just don't need to worry about them too much. Just learn from them and try and move on. And if you will eventually get much less mistakes because you're going to follow the steps that you're meant to follow. Get research books. Don't go on certain places. Make sure you know what you're doing before you buy something, and you should limit these kind of mistakes from happening. This next point kind of links into my last point. My fifth tip is that if it seems too good to be true, 90% of the time it is. Collecting militaria is quite a unique hobby, as you can find amazing deals, but most of the time it is too good to be true. When you're a more experienced collector, you'd be able to determine whether it is original or a really good reproduction. But when you're just starting out, you're not going to really be able to do that. So if it does seem too good to be true and you're thinking, oh, is it original or not, I would recommend passing on it, because you can always, it's not going to go anywhere. You can probably find the same item somewhere out there. So if you're thinking about, is it real or not, I'd pass on it unless, you know, you see one for an extremely good price and you're not, you know, bothered if it turns out to be, you know, not an original, then you can go for it. But if it seems too good to be true, 90% of the time it is too good to be true. And my final point for today is to avoid any SS items. Now, I know a lot of people are interested in SS Militaria, but the problem is almost all of it's just not original. You know, even if it looks the part, there are so many high quality reproductions, especially with SS items, that are sold as 100% originals on certain websites, places you go to. And yeah, in every type of Militaria you collect, there will be replicas, really high quality ones, especially German Militaria like you see in front of me. M43 Luftwaffe cap, many high quality reproductions of it. Iron Crosses, so many reproductions of it. But SS is just on a whole nother scale. The amount of just fake reproductions sold as real, and you know, some of them are so high quality, even experienced collectors won't even be able to tell the difference. Another reason I'd avoid it is the prices are just absolutely crazy. You know, even for people who've been collecting for years, they don't even have any SS items because, you know, when you're first starting out, you're not going to be looking at items that, you know, when you don't have the experience. You know, SS items, you know, people devote their whole lives in this hobby just collecting SS items, and some of them even make mistakes. So stay away from SS items, a big no. Stay away from it at all costs at the start of your collecting. Maybe when you start getting more experienced and you do a hell of a lot of research, you should start, you know, looking into it. But when you're starting out, stay well away from SS Militaria, any sort of it. Even if you see one for, you know, what you think is a fairly good price, it will still be crazy prices, crazy prices. So stay away from it. So that's the end of the video today. I think it's a great hobby to get into, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made because it's just a brilliant hobby. You get to talk to amazing people, especially on YouTube. You know, everyone who's been commenting down below, I really do appreciate it. You know, you do probably have a few of you feeling a bit, you know, overwhelmed. That's how I felt a bit when I first started. But just enjoy it, you know. At the end of the day, it's meant to be a hobby, so you're meant to enjoy it. So go out and get what you want to get. If you like a certain bit of Militaria, which is a bit unusual, go out and buy it and, you know, enjoy what you want to do, all right? If there's anything else that I've missed in this video, because I probably have missed some things, this is just a basic video, please comment down below. Any experienced collectors, please comment down below as well. You know, giving anyone advice, especially me as well, because, you know, I'm not an expert, as I said. You know, I've only been collecting for around 6 years, so we can have a bit of a discussion going down below if anyone's got any questions about Militaria. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing and liking the video. You don't have to, but if you did, please, I would appreciate it a lot. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.